We finally have some new official God of War info, with the blog post focusing on the more than 60 accessibility features. It's maybe not the info we were hoping for, but it does give us a small bit of extra insight into the game, and we noticed some changes and improvements. This was, for example, Atreus in the reveal trailer, followed by the new footage we got, where he sounds a bit different.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
Now, it's probably because of the energy needed in the trailer, but it's still a noticeable change. And there's way more to go over, so if you are excited for God of War Ragnarok, then leaving a like on the video would really help me out. Subscribe to stay up to date on the game, and let's go. For one, they added all the features that were first exclusive to the PC version of God of War 2018, like auto sprint, where you will sprint by just pressing the movement stick forward for a short time, and also for the aim style and the block style, where you can choose to either hold or toggle it on and off. If you played God of War 2018 when it came out, then you likely remember that the text was really small on a large TV. So now at launch, Ragnarok will immediately have a ton of features to improve that, like increasing the UI text size, which you will then immediately see active in the menu here as well. And yes, this is the menu of Ragnarok. So real quick, we can, for example, change the color of bosses and mini bosses. Maybe no surprise, but mini bosses seem to be back. We of course encountered multiple of them in 2018 as well. And we also see a touchpad icon next to characters. Maybe this is the inventory menu that is now divided between Kratos and Atreus, because Atreus likely has more moves and equipment options this time around. In God of War 2018, the touchpad was to quickly go to the map, and in the options menu we could not really switch to other menus very quickly. And of course, not only the menu text is customizable, we can also increase the subtitle size if we want.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
No!
So this was of course also from the reveal trailer, but Atreus talks the same here. And yes, we already saw the subtitle color changes. Speaker names are back from 2018, just like the backgrounds behind the text on the screen. New is that you can blur the background now too though. Also new are captions for sounds that are happening in the game. So you can of course change these and customize them as well. And overall you want to enable captions for critical gameplay moments to assist with puzzles and narrative understanding. They also mention a direction indication, so you know where a sound cue is coming from, which can help during a puzzle, for example. And sound itself will also be used to more easily notice when interactable objects are nearby, or when you're close enough to actually interact with them. So this is the only new footage we got, and the one thing that stands out here is the icon, where in God of War 2018 we see face handprint as the main mission marker, right? Now it seems to be an animal paw. And the color was slightly changed as well. So your theories are of course more than welcome in the comments down below as to why this might be. And this door is of course the door we pull down to free tier. And yeah, also worth noting are some graphical changes and improvements in the small 2022 footage we just got versus the reveal trailer from last year. For example, in the new footage, Kratos' fur color is slightly different versus that one he had in the reveal trailer. Overall, the reveal trailer was a bit lighter here, and the scar is slightly different too. Now this shot has seen the biggest increase. The environment was first kind of blurry thanks to the mist, but as you can see here, it looks way better now. Although I gotta say, the opposite is true with the Atreus shot, which I think looked better in the 2021 footage. So it could be that the weather at the time of the cutscene plays a role. And totally remember that the footage that you see here is compressed, so it will certainly look better on your TV when the game releases. Now I want to go back to some of the features they talked about, namely that you can also increase the size of the icon for interactable objects, so they are more easily noticeable. Also interesting about audio cues is that they can extend to additional combat cues like unblockable attack rings, targeting aim cues, and weapon swap cues, which can be handy, and you can customize the volume separately as well. Another thing they mention and showcase is the high contrast mode, which looks wild. To apply a color similar to in-game objects, enemies, and other characters. They're really going all in with these accessibility features to really make it possible for more people to experience the game, which is of course great. It can also increase the contrast to make traversal paint, loot items, and special effects more visible in this mode. We could also do this in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and they could also kinda use it to cheat and spot collectibles way easier, which might actually come in handy in Ragnarok as well. They also expanded the controller mapping options, so in the first game on PS4 you could for example change the stun grab from R3 to circle, so you could use that to finish enemies off. Or you could change the Spartan Rage from the analog sticks to cross and circle if that is what you preferred. They now note that we will be able to customize certain actions that require more than one button, including touchpad shortcuts for things like the Spartan Rage, navigation assist, and quick turn, so that it's all easier to pull off. They even mention an option to change individual buttons to your liking, so it will be way more in depth versus what you see here from the 2018 menu. And I'm sure certain shortcuts will be pressed again, like in the 2018 game you could switch the chisel door to a single button press, so that instead of having to look for an opening, you would just be able to press one button in a random spot to immediately open the door. Other things that can make your life easier are the new navigation assist. When not in combat, pressing the navigation assist button will orient your view in the direction of the next story goal, which can be really nice. And you can also automate traversal based on the direction you press, so you can likely skip the button needed to, for example, vault over a certain object. The thing you maybe already saw is the audio description trailer, which is sadly the exact same Ragnarok trailer, but with audio description of what is happening.
A prisoner sits inside alone.
Here!
Are you coming with us?
Tyr stands, towering over Kratos.
And yeah, we watched the whole thing and they totally keep some secrets on purpose, but we do see that they mention that the soldiers, likely Einherjar, join in from the Bifrost, which of course the rainbow bridge between Midgard and Asgard, but in God of War we use it to travel between the realms. So curious how it plays a role here. And if there was any doubt, this enemy is indeed an elf, and we also see a brute when Kratos does the shield slam. But of course, if you notice things, let us know in the comments down below. One other thing that I think is interesting to mention is there was no release indication in this post whatsoever. We can't wait to share more with you as we get closer to launch. That was kind of the final line. While if they said the launch in 2022 or closer to launch this year, that would of course show more confidence. Don't get me wrong, I would still love to get the game this year, and there's totally a chance that it still happens, with rumors regarding a Sony event in early June kind of getting some traction. It's not like confirmed, but maybe it's happening. And we know that Sony is usually waiting to reveal the release date when they're 100% sure, and also when it's really close to coming out. But yeah, I just still wanted to say that they did not confirm 2022 in any official news video or blog post this year. I also went in depth on just other things that are going on with God of War, some other recent details we got in a previous video you can watch by clicking on the screen. Subscribe of course if you haven't already for everything on Ragnarok. A like on the video would really help me out, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.